Hey, I'd like to welcome you to another episode of the Mission Matters Marketing Podcast, your source for all things marketing. My name is Adam Torres. You can follow me on Instagram at AskAdamTorres. Keep up with my book releases, book tour schedule, signings, all that other good stuff. Always love to connect with you there. And as always, if you'd like to apply to become a co-author of one of my upcoming books, just head on over to the website, missionmatters.com, and click on Become an Author to apply. All right, so today I have Enjoli Beato on the line, and she's founder over at Connect with Enjoli. Michelle, welcome to the show.
Thank you, Adam. Thank you for having me.
All right, so excited to get into this brand that you've created. So Connect with Enjoli. I mean, I know you do a lot of speaking. I know you've been doing a lot of blogging. Let's just start off with the site and the blog. So tell us a little bit more about what you're doing there, please.
Sure. So this is something that was born naturally out of a need that I found in the market for students and young professionals and even older professionals looking to make a career switch where they were stuck, right? They didn't know, for young students, it was they studied something and thought they wanted to veer into a certain career path and then either found that they couldn't get into it immediately or, life took them in a different direction. And then same thing for professionals in terms of people looking to either get more career opportunities or make a career switch. And I found that there was a gap in professional development for them in terms of learning how to get those opportunities or how to be able to successfully do a career switch or, go into something new. So connecting is something that I found through a very big assessment I did years ago when I was looking to make a career switch. I found that connecting with people was kind of like very easy for me. And so therefore I decided to create a curriculum where I started coaching people on how to connect in order to find career opportunities. And I actually define it for them. Actually, I have a formal definition for it, and I kind of take them through that process that helps them ease into different areas of their professional life a little bit more easier.
Tell us a little bit more about that coaching process. I mean, let's uncover a little bit more there. So give us more.
Sure. So what I first start off with is, right, all of us, we're kind of taught, networking is the way to get more career opportunities. That's been something that's been ingrained in us since, we start our careers. However, to me, networking is very mechanical. So I came up with this thing about connecting because that's essentially what I've been doing since I was in college, which is I defined it as an authentic attempt to an authentic attempt to learn or assist someone. So there's two big components to it, and that is an effort to learn from someone or to assist someone. And I've found that in my career, I've been successful with making a lot of different transitions, getting opportunities that I've always wanted by doing these things and authentically, right? Because a big component of that as well is being authentic, being genuinely interested in learning from someone or assisting someone. So I use that as a foundation to teach people what does it really mean to connect. And then I start going, basically take them through their process of where do they want to go, what is their experience been, and help them connect the dots to make sure that they understand, how to use their individual stories in order to connect with others.
Oh man, I love that. And so let's talk a little bit more about your speaking and the speaking type of things that you do. So tell us a little bit more about the type of keynotes and topics that you like talking about.
Sure. So I love talking to, so I've pretty much broken it down into 4 different areas. One, it's, the big area is professional development, and I've broken it down and I tailor my speaking differently for students and then one for professionals. So with students, I speak at colleges, at different events where I kind of go into, that unknown where today we live in a world where, you can have a college degree, but that doesn't necessarily mean that's the avenue that you're going to go into. There's so much opportunity today. So I kind of tailor that of, talking about a little bit more of having that insatiable curiosity and kind of taking advantage of your college years to make as many connections as you can and get as much experience. And then for the professional development for professionals, what I do is help them kind of craft their story professionally, right? What is their experience? Where are they today? Where do they want to go? And then I help them and walk them through exercises where they can start figuring out how to tell their story and how to use that to help others, to learn from others. So that's where I break those two areas up. And then I have a speech I love to do for leaders, right? One of the things is leaders also need professional development as well. And some of the things that I've experienced, and one of the reasons why I began doing this kind of work was realizing that we are in an ever-changing business world where, leaders now are managing people that are employees that are comprised of multi-cultures, multi-generational employees, and how do you now form connections, one, as their leader with every employee, because everyone is completely different, and then how do you form connections among your employees, right, so that they can work together and actually bring, increases in engagement and productivity and creativity to your team.
No, I love it. I mean that it just works. I like all the different things that you're working on. I like how you're doing it. That being said, what kind of content? So on your blog, I mean, there's a lot of people listening right now that they're listening to you and they're like, oh man, they want more. What kind of content can people expect when they go to your blog, when they go to your site? Like, what kind of things can they expect there?
Yeah, so definitely the one thing I try to do with my website is, one, tell my story, right? Because one of the things that I use to define myself is I'm a storyteller. And right there, I love to tell my story, let people know what makes me, an authority on this subject. How did I explore this whole process of connecting, and how have I used that, right, to enhance my career? And then the second part is, having people learn from me, right? Aside from learning my story, I love to just, every time I do a speech, every time I speak to someone, whether it's a 15-minute coffee chat or an actual speaking engagement, I want to bring value, right? I want to make sure that people get enough value out of it. So the blog, I do a lot of things like give just concrete advice. So some of the things are, a recent blog post that I did was 6 questions your LinkedIn profile should answer, right? And it's just like, I love being concise and just giving people nuggets that they can take away with them in order to start, making small steps to that next career opportunities. So a lot of the content is everything that I've experienced myself, and then just clear nuggets of people, that are it's mainly for people that are in that stage where they're, looking to potentially do something new, are a bit confused, are unhappy, or have like that faraway dream and they don't know how exactly to kind of, build that roadmap to there. So that's what the blog is for. It's just helping them and answering a lot of the questions that I get with my coffee chat and when I attend speaking engagements and things of that nature.
Oh, that's awesome. I love when the content comes out organic and it's based off of like feedback and or questions people are having. I mean, it just makes for really authentic content, and it makes for things that are unique, and it also just targets what's like timely, what's on people's minds. So I love your process. I love the way you're doing that. So Michelle, that being said, if somebody's listening to this and they want more information, whether it be on your speaking, whether it be on your coaching, or how do people reach out to you? What's the best way for them to connect?
So there's a ton of different ways. I mean, I connect with people everywhere. So I mean, to a lot of people go on my website, so they find my blog, so they can go onto my website, michelleanjoli.com. But LinkedIn is a great tool that I absolutely love, and I make tons and tons of connections on there all the time. So LinkedIn's a great way. You can find me, at Michelle Enjoli Beato. And then also Instagram. I'm also on Facebook. But definitely LinkedIn and my website have been the 2 main sources where people can come learn a little bit about me. And that actually always is a great segue to great conversations when I actually start talking to people.
Fantastic. Well, hey, Michelle, great having you on the show today. It's been my pleasure, and to learn more about also what you're doing over at Connect with Michelle Enjoli. And to the audience, as always, thank you for tuning in. Hope you got a lot of value out of this. If you did, don't forget to subscribe to the podcast. Leave me a review on the Apple iTunes Store. If you're watching this on our YouTube channel, Mission Matters Marketing, definitely give us a subscribe there, but also leave us some comments on the video. I mean, love to know what kind of things and projects you're working on. And Michelle, thanks again for coming on the show.